Welcome everyone to the showdown between these Skaven, who shall be led by Lord Skrolk with his filthy old teeth over here. And it looks like, guys, we're going to be facing off against the dreaded Spirit of the Jungle, who shall be led by Nakai and Falcon. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build. So here in the back, we do of course have the glorious Ikid Zap Zap cannon. This ain't going to be going after some of those high value dinos, KROXIGORs, some of the big Carnosaurs over here, all sorts of spooky stuff, maybe even Nakai himself. So we do of course have the Zap cannon, which is going to be protected by some warp grinders. Hopefully I'll get some good snares, be able to lock things down and get some good sniping. So that's going to be that. We do have the warp grinders here. Now this is the other sneaky play we're going to be going for. So I do have the Ixcha's Triads, and with these guys, you can summon a doppelganger of the unit, basically just a shadow clone, which your opponent actually can't tell if it's real or fake unless they fight it in combat. So we're going to be summoning a fake one here, sending it up, and hopefully trying to bait out some spells and other things like that. In the front line, it's going to be Skaven slaves. We do have a Plague Priest to help us do well in the infantry fight. Lord Skrolk, of course, probably still the more competitive of the choices here for these Skaven lords. Lieber plus summons, can't complain. On top of that, we have Natty Bubo Sharpshooters, a Helpit Abomination, and a couple Rat Ogres, and that's going to be it. The one thing that's a little bit different in this build is I don't have the Council Guard. Instead, I got probably the Triads and some Spears, but we'll see if it pays off. Now for the Force of Falcon, he's coming in with a scary Doom stack here. So he does have Nakai and a little bit of a Skink Goon Squad. So a Heaven's Caster for Wind Blast against probably expecting Council Guard, right? Wind Blast, of course, very good against those. He does also have a Skink Priest of Heavens here. Heavens and Beast Summoning, yeah. So Manticores plus Wind Blast. He has a Feral Carnosaur for the main line. It's going to be all Skinks with a bunch of KROXIGORs, and this is a hard build for sure. I mean, the sheer pressure that the KROXIGORs can put on you is quite spooky for sure, especially in the hands of the Dark Lord Falcon. And here he does have a Bastiladon, his favorite, the Ark of Sotek, coming in to drop some poison here. So these little skinks get to be dropping some snakes amongst my rats, and we'll see how that goes. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and have some fun. See how this battle turns out. So I do send forward the Ixcha's Triads, and at this point, I'm just going to be charging them right in, basically just using them as a tar pit unit. So you can see I'm kind of like trying to juke here to make it seem like they're the actual one. So Wind Blast going down right there from Falcon, an overcasted one. We were both laughing so hard about this. And they are the fake ones. So that is the clone. So Wind Blast gets used, the Skink takes damage from overcasting, and basically they're just going to be tar pitting this advance. So certainly a bamboozling. We were both laughing pretty hard about that while we were playing. So nonetheless, those little guys certainly paying their dues, wasting Winds of Magic and also doing damage to the Skink inadvertently. But now comes the onslaught here of the Dinos, as the Skinks are going to be piling in. And over here, we're going to be sending in Rat Ogres. The Jezzails will also be shooting in against the Feral Carnosaur, which I do want to take out because of the threat it poses to my Helpit Abomination. On the other side over here, we have Skrolk Daddy coming in, plus the Plague Priest. So we're going to have some decent damage going down here as the Mortis Engine effects are triggering. But, you know, the lizards are everywhere. They're coming in all angles here. Some of the Skinks are able to kind of slip through the cracks here and should be able to push back here towards the Natty Bubo Sharpshooters. I do have some Ogres in reserve and other troops like that, so I will be pulling them in. So I really need to get a win over here. So here comes the Seismic Snares and the other buffs, and you can see we're getting a lot of damage against the Feral Carnosaur as the actual Ixcha's Triads have engaged now with their anti-large, and the Feral Carno is actually taking a lot of damage. So the Grinder doing really good, holding up this entire advance here and really doing an excellent job at burning down the Skinks and those squishy units here. So now my Sharpshooters didn't do that much work. They got a little bit caught up here and they got pushed down. Lizards, of course, collapsing this flank, which is to be expected. I knew I wouldn't hold it for terribly long. Some Clan Rats fighting against Red-Crested Skinks is quite nice as well. And Clan Rats basically just going to be trying to hold back the cohort of Sotek. So I still do have the Zap Cannon shooting, which is nice. It's still going after some decent targets here in the form of the Feral Carno. And I believe the Helpit Abomination is helping out in the center. So basically I knew I would lose this position. I just left the Triads here. I was like, just let him fight. We got the Feral Carno down, which is good. You can see it's very low. I mean, near death here, 859 HP, so we should be able to push that guy off. Now, the bounce bar is actually pretty even at this point. Yeah, just like right dead center here, as I was able to win that frontline engagement and push back a lot of the Lizards. So I'm going to be coming back here with my Hellpit and Skrolk and the Plague Furnace and trying to form a Death Star at this point. So basically, try to get the value you can with the Snipers and the Warp Lightning Cannon, and once you obviously get compromised, you fall back and form a Helm's Deep. But Falcon has some pretty good bunker busting tools here. He does have a Feral Manticore, which is going to be gooning Lord Skrolk, and he did also get a really nice Wind Blast that was able to push off my Clan Rats. And unfortunately, I think our Sharpshooters really got crumped pretty good. They just kind of got chased around, and honestly, that was probably one of the weak links to my army this time was those guys. I really just didn't get much value at all out of them. Anyway, so if we look at the bounce power, still kind of even. The Lizards have taken the lead a little bit as they were able to compromise my Warp Lightning Cannon here. It's completely shattered. I simply didn't have enough bodies to deal with all the KROXIGORs and the cohort of Sotek, which is refusing to die. Things are getting quite wild. Now, anyways, Lord Skrolk is in a Mortal Kombat fight versus Nakai here, but I do also have the Helpit Abomination, and Nakai, of course, is a large target, so the Helpit Abomination is going to be able to put some serious hurt on Nakai here. You can see his HP is getting a little bit low. Cold-Blooded is popped to keep him from, I guess, breaking or something, I'm guessing. And you can see there's going to be a summon of Plague Monks. So Plague Monks have been summoned here by Lord Skrolk, which are going to be very efficient at actually cutting through the skink cohorts and things like that. But here comes the Ark of Sotep. The Ark of Sotep dropping sneaky snakes everywhere, all over my rats. They're being attacked from the ground by these blue ethereal snakes. And things are getting a little bit wild here in this engagement, to say the least. Now, the Balance Power is falsely inflated. Falcon, of course, has a Manticore summon, so once the Manticore summons are gone, it's probably going to normalize a little bit. Granted, they might have just disappeared. I don't see the Manticore lurking anywhere. And you can see Skrolk plus the Helpet Abomination actually putting some serious hurt on Nakai here, actually winning that fight pretty effectively. And a lot of the KROXIGORs are actually being forced off due to terror routes, which is really good. KROXIGORs, of course, aren't immune to psychology, so this pit fight is actually going in my favor a little bit. Granted, he is able to get Nakai away from the Helpet Abomination and Skrolk, blocking me with the Ark of Sotek, and now he's going to be going after, it looks to be the Plague Furnace, which is a good choice, because that thing has pretty much just been draining down all his skinks and supporting units. Unfortunately for me, though, another variable, the Balance's power is pretty even, right? But I have a lot of summons on the battlefield. I have Clan Rats, I have Plague Monks, and they're all getting forced off pretty much. And when those guys disappear, I'm basically just going to have a couple single entities and heroic characters that are going to be fully surrounded by chaff. And Skaven leadership doesn't do too well when it's surrounded by like a horde of infantry, especially like skinks and things like that. So Helpet Abomination is a little bit blocked up, like I said, by the Bastillodon with the Ark of Sotek, and we're just going fisticuffs, trying to take that thing down. And now you can see the bounce power is starting to go a little bit in the favor of the Lizards here, as my supporting troops and my summons are all but disappearing, and I believe I'm out of summons at this point. So you can see Nakai's coming back in. Liber Bubonicus is going to be dropped on him once again, so he's going to be taking some serious hurt from that tick and going down, and probably going to go down to about 500, 600 HP. And Skrolk, I think, had a summon. I wasn't sure. Or maybe it was another Manticore summon coming into back pocket. So the Manticore summon pretty much is going to seal my doom, as that Helpet Abomination is fighting to the bitter end. But we weren't quite able to finish off Nakai. And yeah, the Sharpshooters just didn't pay the dues this game. So very well played. It was a fun game for sure. I thought we might have a chance at kind of clawing our way back in the center. Once we got some good beatings on Nakai, we forced him back, and I saw the KROXIGORs in a bit of a mass terror route. But yeah, we weren't quite able to finish off Nakai. And also our Jezzails pretty much did nothing. So we had a pretty expensive unit not really pay its dues. In retrospect, I'm like, I wonder what I would change. I like the build. I think it's pretty good. You have good anti-infantry with the Plague Priest. But you need more to deal with like KROXIGORs. Maybe, honestly, you just cut the Natty Bubo Sharpshooters and just get like the Council Guard. And yes, Council Guard can be destroyed by like Wind Blast and things like that. But if it's able to kind of avoid those threats, it could potentially be something that could fight back against the KROXIGORs a little bit more efficiently than relying on my firepower. And granted, Rat Ogres do pretty well there. Ogres can hold their own against skinks. Maybe just bringing more Ogres too. Yeah, I felt like just I wasn't able to protect those sharpshooters, and they just really didn't do much of anything that game. The Zap Cannon was pretty solid for sure. That thing did a ton of damage, but yeah, it was really fun. And yeah, for Falcon's build, obviously he was memeing about. Nakai isn't a terribly competitive pick, nor is the Bastillodon with the Ark of Sotek, but the other stuff in the army, very, very scary for sure. And he still made them work, and yeah, the snakes were everywhere. What can I do? Just the attack of the snakes. So make sure to check out Falcon, the Dark Lord himself, over on his Twitch channel, which will be linked in the comment section below. And aside from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Skaven vs. Spirit of the Jungle KROXIGOR Smash Showdown. All right, guys, take care and thanks for watching.